Fly side, is there the high drive? Deep center, go, go, go! We're out of here! We're out of here! Say ya, playa!
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood, Caladros, the 3-2, swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A dog pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Kingsway Regional High School here in Woolwich Township. We were in a race against the clock to get set up tonight, but we just got here in time. There's less than a minute left on the warm-up clock, but let's talk about these two teams real quick before they get ready for everything and all the festivities tonight. Todd Powers for Washington Township in his second year as a head coach here led the Minutemen to a 14-13 record in 2023 to 24, and you know, this is kind of the theme of the night and the theme of the year so far is that we've seen a couple of games between two teams that are hanging around 500. So I'm excited to see how it works. Kingsway lost their leading scorer from last year, Christian Conklin, but they do still have Desir Williams-Bay. And don't count out Micah Hart as well. He had a huge game winner in the first round of the playoffs last year versus Southern Regional to win in an upset on the road. Now, 9 versus 8, is it as much of an upset as you'd think? Maybe not. But for Washington Township, this is a team that moves very well, and they're very efficient. They've already won this year over Delsea, and they're looking to win their first divisional game of the year, considering that both of these teams have not yet played a game in the Tri-County Royal Division, consisting of Township, Kingsway, Williamstown, GCIT, and Clearview. A lot of big talent and a lot of big schools around here. But the place is starting to fill up here on a Friday night with a slush and a snow outside. We are nice and warm inside here in Woolwich. I'm Dan Wilkins with David Cohen behind the buttons tonight. We'll be back in just a moment as they will do introductions and starting lineups and much more as we're getting ready for tip-off here at Kingsway. We'll be back in just a moment. We are ready to go, and so are the Washington Township Minutemen and the Kingsway Dragons. It is less than a week until Christmas Day. There's Santa Claus himself dressing up over in the Kingsway student section. Let's take a look at Todd Powers and the Washington Township Minutemen tonight. There's your starting lineup on the left side of your screen. Like we said, 14 and 13 last year. And then all the way over in Woolwich Township, our home side, Kingsway Dragons for tonight. Got Micah Hart, who, as we said, had a big clutch layup in the first round of the NJSIAA playoffs last year. And 6'5" center Kai Talley at the number 5 spot for the Dragons this evening. As we said, still very early on in the 2024-25 campaign. Kingsway 1-1 with a win over Triton and a loss to Newman-Goretti of Philadelphia. The tip is up, and 32 minutes of Tri-County basketball are underway. The ball almost went out on the tip. And we're underway in Woolwich on this Friday night. Moving inside is Township. Now moving out into the swinging the rock from the top of the key. Here's a 3-ball, bang! Township getting it started off on the right foot. As the 3-ball falls for Malachi Nelson, the senior guard. I'm sorry, that is last year's roster. Pietro Fornisaro now another steal going the other way. Feeds in a 5-0 run for the Minutemen. Get this party started on a Friday night. So a lot of heavy hitters to start this festivity as a Euro in the lane gets denied by Luke McCray, the 6'4" junior. Inbounded to Kingsway, they lose the ball again. Now it's going back in transition to Fornisano on the Euro, he misses. Ball got batted away, and that will be, looks like Kingsway ball. Kingsway last year 16-12 under first-year head coach Brian, 7-1 in Tri-County Royal play. As we said, they opened the season with a loss at Newman-Goretti across the bridge in Philadelphia, and then beating Triton by 30 on opening night. From the corner for 3, too long. Falling on that one is 12. That would be for Kingsway. That looks like it's going to be TJ Collier. And again, Kingsway, a minute and a half into this game, still without a point as the Minutemen on a 5-0 run to start tonight. McCray still from beyond the arc. Moving inside, can't get anything on it. Township ball. McCray this year had very limited minutes as a sophomore, but already up to 12 points as a junior in this very early season. As Township in their second game, they almost turned the ball over, but by some twist of fate, they're able to keep the possession alive as an air ball ensues, and in the lane again. Kingsway gets their first points of the night as Maurice Tavares Jr., the 5'10" guard, leaves with the right hand inside. This one goes into the corner. Formisano loses it. Now they've got bounce pass. Oh, he missed it off the glass. Had a chance there and almost had a chance to throw it down, but he gives it up, and it's still a 3-point lead for the Minutemen as we are cruising through this early section of the game here on this Friday night. Minutemen almost lost it. Here comes a mid-range, bricked off the front of the rim. Hanging onto it, and the layup goes for number 10, Keegan Smith, the 5'11" senior. Almost lost it again. Tie game, not a tie game yet. But the 3-ball goes for Micah Hart. And this game is 7-5 in favor of the Minutemen. It's going to be brought in by Smith. Goes over to Formisaro. Back to Justin Pagano, who's checking into the game for the first time. That's going to be a walk. Got a little bit too fancy on the front pivot foot. And that's the second travel of the night. One called against both sides. Working with some issues with our video feed. Please excuse us at this time. And as we were away, foul got called on Washington Township. At the line for the draw. Just trying to fix this best as I can. Keep an eye on the stream. All right, looks like we're back on, possibly. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like we're back on. Sorry about the video issues there. The reception in the gym is very weak, I guess you could say. Having a bit of issues with video. But for the time that we were out, the game is tied 7-7. Kingsway took advantage of a couple of foul shots. Couple of changes for both sides. But under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. A very contentious first frame so far. And they're going to say that Township stepped out of bounds. Gavon Conrad going into this match with 850 points in his Minutemen career. 597 as a junior. Along with that, under 100 boards, but about 75 assists in what is now his 54th game as a member of WTHS. That'll go the other way as the three ball doesn't fall. Feels like a very slow first quarter so far, but 7 points on both sides. Number one, Pietro Formaciero, the senior, who's only had stats in for this year. It's going back, spin move, they're gonna say offensive foul. Kingsway's been hit with a couple of those tonight. And Brian Kuzmic not happy. And Kingsway already at 4 fouls. One shy of the bonus with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Fornaciero, the point guard, bringing it up the floor. He moves inside, he gets blocked, no foul. And it'll go out of bounds. Things are already getting intense tonight here in Woolwich. I mean, of course, this is a crosstown rivalry. We saw it when these two played in football back in October. Three ball doesn't go. And Brian Kuzmic not happy at all, but that will be the 5th foul of the quarter. As with still 1:53 remaining, Township will go to the line as they receive their bonus. Oh, never mind. No, they did not. Oh. They called a flopping call. That's what it was. because I'm thinking that they called a shooting foul from beyond the arc so we could get 3 shots in addition to the bonus, but that was not the case. They called a flopping foul, which therefore is a warning against Washington Township. Moving inside, no cigar there. Haven't really seen that this year. An interesting call to say the least. Here we go, catch and shoot from 3, off the front of the rim. Batted back in play, but it does go back to Smith. And it goes to Pagano. Fed out to Fornaciero. Gets it into the corner for Smith. Smith in trouble. This one goes to McCray. And Pagano to Smith in the corner. That's a 3-ball. Township takes the lead with a minute left in the quarter. And Kingsway wasting no time. They stop and go again. This one's back into the corner for 3. Too long. A 3-ball palooza here, and a foul is going to be called on Kingsway. That's going to be their 5th. Loose ball foul will be on Collier. They were about to inbound it like normal, but that's the 5th foul of the quarter. They got to send a guy to the line there. Smith, the senior guard, heads to the charity stripe for the Minutemen. He'll take 2 shots, had 95 points in his junior year, 43 boards, 20 assists, 9 steals in 21 games played. Had 3 points, a board, and an assist in a 48-38 win to open up the season for the Minutemen over Delsey. Second shot goes. Back to a 4-point game for the Minutemen. Feeds it again inside. Fouled on his way up, and they'll get an extra.
The basket is good by Brady Shelton. Foul goes to number 10, Washington Township, Smith. That's his first.
So Smith, who just went to the foul line, now gets hit with a foul himself. Brady Shelton was the one who took advantage of that one. He'll go to the stripe for an and 1, and it goes. And they'll allow another player to sub back in, Matt Rodia. 11-10, both teams have crossed the double-digit mark with 55 seconds left in the first. It's Conrad bringing it up the floor for Washington Township, the 5'11" senior guard, who, as we said, nearly crossed 600 points last season. Has trouble with it, gets blocked in the lane, but a travel will be called. The 3rd travel of the night in the first quarter. They take J.D. Johnson out of the game. And they sub Tavares Jr. back in. 5'10" senior guard for the Dragons. Moving inside is Hart. Feeds it out into the corner. Has room, makes Pagano miss. Now he's got another 3-ball, and it falls. Tavares Jr. subs in and immediately gives the Dragons the lead with 20 seconds left. This one's back out. Another 3-ball, too long. Tolley seemed to have the last touch, but Washington Township gets the short end of the stick, and with 10 seconds left, Township's got a 2-point lead. Kingsway's got a 2-point lead, looking to extend it before the break. Here comes another 3, and it falls at the end of the first quarter. He's electric. And an early lead for the Dragons after they trailed, but got some luck in favor of long odds, I should say, against all odds. Even with the bonus against them, they were able to take advantage of good foul shots. And the student section for Kingsway is right behind them. We're through 1. It's 16-11 after 8. We'll be right back.
Ryan Nutley, who has 3 RBIs so far, is up on deck as here's a fly ball to center field, going back to the wall. It is gone! 3-run home run, Steve Schaefer. He rockets one out, and it's 9-2. First home run for Schaefer this year, the second hit at home by a Scarlet.
Here in the second quarter, getting festive. What's that, the elf on the shelf? It is. Look at that. Elf on the shelf here in Kingsway. Kingsway out to a 5-point lead as they'll inbound to start the quarter. Yeah, I don't know what the issue was with the live stream in the first quarter, but seemed to be stable now. Knock on wood. But our producer Cohen will be checking in on that one as a hard fall for Conrad. Moves it inside for Tolley. Gets denied while trying to throw it down. And the foul is going to be called. I think it will be on Washington Township as he got denied, but Kai Tolley instead will go to the stripe. First shot goes. Kai Tolley, the 6'5" center for Kingsway, extending the lead to 6 after the Dragons had a slow start. And second shot, no good. And more whistles after the shot misses. So you get one foul, I get one foul. Collier is the one who got hit with the foul there. One now on each team. As Justin Pagano, senior guard, bringing this one up the floor for the Minutemen. 46 points last year, had 99 assists. As a nice sixth man for this Minutemen team. Minutemen turn it over. Kingsway almost turned it over right after them. They hang onto it from beyond the arc, and it goes back to Micah Hart. As we said, he had a buzzer-beating layup to beat Southern Regional in the first round of the playoffs last year. They feed it out, back into the corner. They heave it across the floor from deep, doesn't go. Rebound Conrad. Hart with 456 points entering tonight, 207 as a sophomore. He bricks that one off the side. For McCray, that ball gets batted around, and now Conrad in transition. A Euro fouled on his way up, and it looks like he'll go to the line.
Fouls against Kingsway's number 23, Owen Ellison. That'll be second, team second. Number 3, Javon Conrad at the line for the Minutemen.
So Javon Conrad will go to the stripe for 2. It misses. Mutt Creative here in their home opener. As we said, Kingsway 1-1 on the young campaign. They fell on opening night to Newman Goretti 82-50, and then beat Triton on the road 65-34. This is the home opener. He missed again. So Conrad goes 0 for 2 from the stripe. Now moving inside. Heaves it out into the corner, air ball. Had a little too much on. And Pagano bringing this one up the floor. Dragons have their biggest lead so far of the early evening. 6-point lead, 17-11. As we said, they were off to a slow start, getting their rhythm back on their home floor. Pagano out to Conrad. And looks like we're gonna have a 3-second violation. 3-second violation will be called. 2 fouls on both teams now. Micah Hart at the half-court line. Moving inside is Ellison, and he makes it. Guarding hard at full court, Ellison, while backpedaling, keeping the energy up here as Kingsway extends their lead to 8. Trying to stay inside. Conrad trapped towards the corner. Minutemen continuing to swing the rock from beyond. They have trouble with it. He falls to keep it alive. Conrad diving forward. It will be a travel called as Conrad struggled to keep his balance. And a handful of subs were going to come in. Washington Township calls a timeout. First timeout used by either side tonight. Township has 4 remaining as Kingsway out to an 8-point lead here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We'll be right back. 19-11. A passionate crowd on both sides tonight. What did they say in the, I don't think it was Hootie and the Blowfish, but whatever song it was. Crazies to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle. That's where we are tonight. A great vantage point from up above here at the Kingsway Gym. Township bringing it back the other way. He lost control again. Kingsway playing hard defense and forcing a lot of loose possessions. Really kind of forcing the issue there. Tolley going back and forth. He bounces the pass, but the play is stopped. We've got a foul. A lot of fouls here in the early going of the second quarter. Kingsway gave up the bonus early on in the first, but already 5 total fouls, 3 on the Minutemen and 2 on the Dragons. Inside, no, he lost control. Tolley is able to hang on to it back beyond the volleyball line. Stepping back now, he tries the Euro. Oh, that's gonna be offensive interference. Tolley off the fingertips.
Offensive goaltending against the Dragons, and that's going to be no good.
Kuzmic wanted a foul, but I didn't see a foul. All I saw was the offensive interference on Tolley. Good screen there by the Minutemen. Now moving back out, feeding it into the corner. Conrad from the corner, off the top of the backboard. Second chance does not go. Tolley gets the rebound, tries to rip it away. And Kingsway again, fast down the floor. Over to Owen Ellison. From 3. No good off the front of the rim. Second chance by Tolley, rattles in. I mean, both of these teams have tried time and time again to make the 3-ball work. We haven't seen too much room to work on the inside because the possessions really haven't been fulfilled. But if there's a way for Washington Township to dominate the paint inside, I mean, they've got the big men of their own. They've got McCray. They've got a couple guys of their own, you know, like Federici and Vecchiarelli. So I'm surprised that they aren't utilizing the inside of the paint more, some more mid-range shots. I am a little bit surprised by that. Spin move by Tavares. Hart looking for a suitor here. 3.5 minutes in the half. 10-point lead for the Dragons. Biggest lead any team has possessed tonight. He stepped out of bounds. He tried to pass it into the corner, but Hart stepped out, and that'll be a turnover. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pets happy and healthy today with the most organic food products available in South Jersey. Visit today or 7 days a week at 226 South White Horse Pike in Audubon. And also, if you're a small business owner looking to advertise with us at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, send us an advertising inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. McCray back in, one-handed, hits it off of his right foot, and it'll go the other way. I mean, right now it seems like both teams have been playing very sloppy here in the second quarter and in the first half overall. This is very reminiscent of what we saw with Glassboro and Gloucester Catholic back on Wednesday night. What we saw with those two was, well, there was just a lot of back and forth, and there was a lot of three balls attempted, and they really didn't get their game polished until the second half. For Kingsway, this is their first game on the home floor. They're trying to get things settled in, but as we see a lot of times, we see these guys run into foul trouble. And the Minutemen are at the line. I apologize. The Minutemen are at 4 fouls. Kingsway is at the line. J.D. Johnson. It's early in the season for us broadcasters as well, I'll tell you that. J.D. Johnson in his first varsity season as a junior. Misses both. McCray protecting the rebound. Now the ball is bobbled. He falls down. Now that ball is bobbled. Pagano swipes at the ball. He basically punched the ball away. Now it goes back into the corner for Tavares. He moves inside. He gets denied at the lane. Now it goes back to Pagano the other way. An incredible turn of events, an incredible sequence here at the tail end of the half. Pagano with a circus shot that doesn't go. And it's going to go back the other way for Luka Kuzmic, son of the head coach Brian Kuzmic. Goes to Tavares. Man, got to catch our breath after that sequence right there. Corner three doesn't go, and a foul is going to be called against Kingsway. 3 fouls now against the Dragons. Minutemen are 1 foul away from picking up the bonus. Checking in is Sar Witherspoon, the sophomore. Look at the reaction from the student section here. They're loving it. They are loving everything that this guy is about. As he checks in for the first time tonight, Pagano, spin move. Trying to move along here as with 2 minutes left, Conrad having trouble with it, goes back out to McCray. Ball almost got swiped at by Kuzmic. Now it goes into the corner. Pagano feeds it across the floor again. Conrad with a high arcing three, doesn't fall, hits off the shoulder. And now Kingsway's going to bring it back, and a double dribble will be called against Tolly. Matt Rodea coming back in for the Minutemen. As we said, 141 points for the Minutemen this last season. Jasir Sansbury moving in. He was in the starting lineup, but we haven't heard too much from him in the first half. It's McCray. Off the left hand, does not go. Tolly brings it down. Kuzmic, all alone, feeds it to Witherspoon. He gets denied. Second chance, he gets fouled. That'll be a bonus. With 1:20 left, it will be the 5th foul against the Minutemen as they deny a shot at the rim, but they instead send the big man to the line. Zar Witherspoon, a rookie for the Dragons this year, 6 points in total. 4 versus Newman Goretti and 2 versus Triton, getting light minutes off the bench. First shot falls. Hart checking back in. 1 minute, 20 seconds left in the first half. Kingsway out to an 11-point, 22-11 lead. Second shot falls. Moving inside, it does not go. Like we said, right now, I think even in the kindest of regards, this seems like a very sloppy half of basketball. You know, everybody's still getting the jitters out considering this is the early part of the season. Sansbury too long on the 3. That was not an air ball, but it will go the other way. 1:06 left. Near half court, Johnson, blocked by McCray. McCray's really standing on business, as they like to say tonight. He's backing it up. Doing a great job defensively as we reach the tail end of the half. A timeout will be called. Not sure who called it, but
Timeout charge to the Dragons. That'll be their first charge timeout.
we'll stay here. 54.1 seconds left as Kingsway's up by 12. Don't forget, our next broadcast on DWB will be Monday, December 23rd, as we ring in the Christmas season. I mean, we're already in the Christmas season, but Christmas Eve. It's a cross-conference matchup between the Gateway Gators and the Clayton Clippers, two rebuilding programs in South Jersey, and the famous run-and-gun offense, Frank Rago, 2020 sectional champions in South Jersey Group 1. That'll be 12 o'clock on Monday the 23rd, and then we've got two holiday tournaments. Washington Township's going to be featured in one of them, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The 27th is the Pittman Holiday Tournament. First round is on the 27th. Caravel, the Buccaneers of Bear, Delaware. And then you've got the Triton Mustangs, the Paulsboro Red Raiders, and the Pittman Panthers, South Jersey Group 1 sectional champions from last year. And then on the 28th, we travel to Cinnaminson. Washington Township will play Hamilton in that game. That will be an 11:30 a.m. start on the 28th. So if you're a Washington Township fan, might want to tune into that one if you don't want to travel all the way up to Cinnaminson on the 28th of December. On the inbound with 50 seconds remaining in the half, it's Hart. Healing shot in heavy traffic, and it goes back the other way for Sainsbury. Ball rolls away from Rodea. Inside, and Czar Weatherspoon takes it away. It's moving in again for Tolley. He's in trouble, denied by the forwards of the Minutemen. We've got 13 seconds left. Remember, they can ride this out with no shot clock. Kuzmic reeling them in. 7 seconds to play in the half. Only 11 points scored by the Minutemen in the first two quarters. Everybody's rolling over each other. They're not going to get a shot off. And a assortment of bodies in the white and black jerseys of the Minutemen and the Dragons all over. As at the end of the first half, it is the Minutemen 11, the Dragons 23, a low-scoring first half. How about it? But after a rocky first quarter for the Dragons, they're able to rebound, and they lead by 12 at the break. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Make sure to stay tuned for the DWB Halftime Show presented by Harper Driving School and much more after this commercial break.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
He's donning the number 34 and the shortstop for this one. First pitch. There's a line drive into center field. That one is going to drop it. It's going to go to the outfield wall. One run will score. Spence is going to make a huge arc around third. She will score to make it 3-0. And here comes the runner to score. It's an inside the park home run for Ella Hayes to make it a 4-0 game, a 3-run inside the Parker to the 2. 1-0 Red Bank. Now here is Al D'Elia. The man they used to call Big Al has now slimmed down, and he still hits dingers. He went viral in 2018 for his catchphrase during the Little League World Series when he was introduced by the ESPN camera crews and was given his standard introduction. He said, "Hi, my name's Big Al, and I hit dingers." And that sentiment still holds true today. He had his first career high school home run versus Rumson Fairhaven in their opening game of the campaign last week. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. But D'Elia, kind of a folk hero for baseball players who just want to hit the ball far and have fun while doing it. The poster child now is the poster big fella. Fly ball right center field. This is going to be a sac fly. Take over, and Big Al might not hit dingers, but he certainly drives in runs. It's 2-0.
2 minutes remaining. 4 fouls on St. Joe's. One more and it's a bonus, which would greatly help Gloucester Catholic. The moving graveyard! It's a one-point game just like that! This place is going nuts! And now a drive to the basket by Spross. He lays it up and lays it in! St. Joe's has 2 timeouts remaining. Gloucester Catholic still has 3. Here we go. Mascaro pulls up. He goes to 3! 6 points! Jack Mascaro has tied the game with 90 seconds remaining. How will the Wildcats respond with a miss of
launches one foul. See, Mastero's doing us a service here. Or excuse me, D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro is doing us a service here. He's letting us have this conversation by having a long at-bat. But a lot of people are still caught up in the D1 or bust mentality. Listen to this crowd. Listen to this crowd. We'll talk about that later. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Clapping it up here for the Roadrunners. 2-2. Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! 3-run homer, D'Alessandro! And it's a 1-run game at the crack of the bat, 5-4. 3-run shot to center field. Trailing towards the right center, and the cleanup man does exactly what the position orders, cleaning up. And he does it incredibly well with a 5-4 game. He battles for 11 pitches and makes
Welcome back here from Kingsway Regional High School. An odd game to say the least. It went unnoticed at the time, but Washington Township went scoreless in the second quarter. It was 16-11, and then Kingsway put up a touchdown and an extra point, and now it's 23-11. So certainly an odd half. It's a very sloppy half, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. A lot of turnovers, a lot of travels, a lot of foul trouble as well. And both of these teams seem to be insistent on shooting the ball as much as they can from three when it's just not that successful right now. Washington Township and Kingsway both have the size. You've got McCray for Washington Township, and you've got Tolley, Witherspoon, and plenty of others for the Dragons as well. So they need to start using the inside more. When are you going to get your better shots from inside? I would rather take 5 shots from inside than 10 shots from 3. Yeah, the math isn't exactly there, but it'll at least be something for Washington Township to build off on going into the second half. So we'll go back behind the camera here for quarters number 3 and 4 from Kingsway Regional. It is a fun night so far. Had a bit of a rocky start in the first quarter, and it's been an intense night. A packed student section to the brim, and we're back underway in the second half. 23-11 after the Minutemen went scoreless in the second quarter. Kingsway was up by 5 at the end of the first. They now lead by 12 going into the half. From 3, doesn't go. And that ball went out of play on the scramble after the missed shot. You can hear the chants. Wow, 0 for 13. I don't know if that number's right, but Kingsway is certainly counting. Swinging the rock from the top of the key, moving inside a Euro with a push-off. Rattler goes in. Definitely thought I saw a walk there, but Desir Williams Bay, a name we haven't heard too much of tonight, as Forniciero having trouble hanging onto it. That ball is deflected. Kingsway's going to bring this back. Pagano to guard. He is fouled on his way up, and it looks like they'll send a man to the stripe. So Forniciero picks up his first foul, and this will send Desir Williams Bay, the senior, to the line. Second leading scorer for Kingsway from last year after they lost their leader, Christian Conklin. As we said, Kingsway last year 16-12, had a first-round playoff victory on the road as the 9 seed over 8 seed Southern Regional. Second shot does not go, and it's 26-11. More scrambling there, trying to keep it in play, does not fall. Kingsway with possession. Moving to the three-point edge. Moving back in is Collier. Ball rolls away, and Collier will hang on to the possession. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. 2 minutes into the half, feeds it, slam! Ball might have left his hands before the basket, but how about that? Kai Tolley sends this place a-shaking. On the first day of Christmas, the Dragons gave to me one rim a-shaking. And that's certainly a confidence booster for the Dragons as they extend their lead to 17. I mean, as we said, Washington Township did not score in the second quarter. And they actually led early on. They had the early advantage, but now Kingsway has turned on the rocket fuel. Pagano inside. That's a turnover again, and Kingsway will take their time. Three ball is short. Falling on top of the ball, Tolly. And it will be, looks like, Township ball. Keegan Smith will inbound. This broadcast is brought to you by Rowan College of South Jersey Gloucester Athletics. Prospect 2025 to 2026 school year should consider RCSJ Gloucester in their recruiting process. A two-year university with perennial championship contenders in all forms of athletics and excellent top-tier academics to go along with it. Right here in our backyard in Sewell, as one of two RCSJ campuses offering the two-year route as a direct partner of Rowan University. Prospective athlete in the Roadrunner family should visit rcroadrunners.com or visit us on social media at RC Roadrunners on all platforms. Three ball for the first points of the half and the first point since the first quarter. Washington Township, listen to this crowd, almost sympathetic as Washington Township getting back in the groove, trailing by 14. Don't forget, our next broadcast will be Monday, December 23rd, in a cross-conference matchup between the Gateway Gators and the Clayton Clippers. From the charity stripe, that one is too long, moves out to the right, and the rebound is by Javon Conrad. As we said, nearing 600 points from last year. Another turnover for the Minutemen. This one goes back the other way, almost denied by McCray, and it'll be a shot and an and one. Sadir Williams-Bay gets the shot, and he'll get the and one there. Third personal foul against him. And it'll send Williams-Bay to the stripe to try to extend the lead here. I mean, Washington Township right now, their best silver lining that they have to go off of is that they've played a good defensive game. Most teams, if you said that you would allow 26 points, or I think it was 23 points at the half, you'd say that's a great thing. But the offense has to match that. That's a two-way street here. And we've seen a lot of turnovers. We've seen a lot of foul troubles. Washington Township themselves already with 3 fouls in this quarter. 5 would solicit the bonus. Looks like Owen Ellison checking in for the Dragons here with 3:46 left in the third. It's the Minutemen 14, the Dragons 31. Here in what has been a very defensive-minded home opener. The foul gets called against Kingsway. They now rack up their second team fouls of the quarter. I mean, it hasn't necessarily been foul-heavy. No team has gone over 6 fouls in a quarter tonight, but it's been consistently foul-heavy, if you want to put that moniker on it. It's Conrad moving back out beyond the volleyball line near the half-court stripe. Guarded by J.D. Johnson, a football athlete as well at Kingsway. Saw some action from him, and before they could get anything going, Todd Powers calls a timeout. A very unhappy Todd Powers, that should be, calls a timeout, as he'll talk it over with his crew, and so will we. 3:23 left in the third, 31-14. It's Kingsway up by a bunch here at home. Back live here from Kingsway as Forniciero will inbound after the timeout by Todd Powers. He burned his second. The head girls soccer coach and head baseball coach behind the table there for the Dragons, Bill Alvaro. Ball got stolen away. Here goes J.D. Johnson on a fast break, and it rolls over, and Tolley throws it down. Tolley wasting no time as he gets a second chance throwdown. Formaciero finding space in McCray near the elbow. This one goes back out to Pagano. Now Formaciero on the lay-in is short. It'll be a possession that stays alive for Washington Township. 3-ball bricks off the front. Second chance, no good. I mean, Washington Township has just been, they've gotten some good shots off, but Kingsway has beaten them out on defense. Like I said, if you're Washington Township, and if you were winning and you only gave up 23 points in the first half, that would be a very good thing to use as a benchmark. But the problem is that this game is so low scoring that, you know, right now, you need everything in your power to get back into this game. You need a good run, whether it's hitting the 3 balls or whether it's moving inside. You have the space and you have the size to do it. Fornaciero is a good 3 to a stretch 4 in this kind of group 4 environment, and you've got McCray to run the front court as well. That 3-ball falls, and we've got a shove and a technical against Township. He hit the 3 and then shoved the Kingsway player to put himself in trouble. Matt Rodea let the emotions get the best of him, and he'll get hit with a T. Something must have been said or something, because, wow. I mean, 1 step forward, 2 steps back here. That's what I don't like here. Micah Hart hits his first free throw on the technical. And it goes.
Back at number 2, Brady Shelton. The Dragons remain with possession after the technical.
I mean, that's just unfortunate right there. Obviously, something in the emotional side of the game got the better of him there. He hit a 3-ball, which was great, but then shoved somebody, got hit with a T, and now they move on, down by 20. Pagano moving up the middle. All alone, feeds it to McCray on a no-look pass, and that shot goes. Lead trails to 18, and Rodea got decked a little bit on the far sideline. That's Township's 5th personal foul. 5th team foul, I apologize. And now going to the line for the bonus is Luka Kuzmic, the senior guard, relative of the head coach Brian Kuzmic. 80 points in his sophomore year, 63 in a junior campaign where he played 16 games. 16 of the team's 28. He had 1 single 3-ball versus Newman Goretti, a game that Newman Goretti won 82-50. Game where Ash Wright led the score 15 for Newman Goretti. Both free throws fallen with 1:27. Kingsway is the bonus. Kingsway only with 2 team fouls, and while Township has scored 8 points, it doesn't really seem that substantial right now because of the deficit that they have accumulated here. But if they're going to have 9 more minutes to get back into the game, it's certainly feasible, but they've got to shut down Kingsway at every corner here. That shot goes, no and one rather. But the shot does fall for Don DeNoble. Low arcing 3 for Johnson, doesn't fall. Rebound ripped in by DeNoble again, who just scored a couple of seconds ago. DeNoble feeds it out into the corner for Formaciero. He hits it from the top, but it doesn't go. Now it's back out to McCray, who gets the rebound. Formaciero again, this time blocked from the stripe. Now from 3 again, and it goes! Township is loving this one as they're getting back into it. 15-point game now as Conrad is excited. Johnson looking his way near the backcourt line. 24 seconds left and counting. And that'll go out of play. I mean, to be fair, I'm on the left side of the bleachers right now. I've got the Kingsway guys to my right. I've got the Township guys to my left. If Township can keep the energy up, they can certainly get back into this game, because Township seems like a team that likes to get on these hot runs. They did it in the first quarter. They just haven't found that rhythm here in the second half. Ball got stolen away on the inbound. Now it's Formaciero, makes a man miss, and the layup. Kingsway on a cold stretch with 7 seconds left. It's a 13-point game. The Minutemen seem to have found their rhythm in under a minute. They run out of time, shot doesn't go. How about that? Washington Township will not go away quietly. They trail by 13 after accruing a large deficit. Todd Powers and friends are back in the rhythm after a strong third quarter, but will the final 8 minutes be enough to bring them over the hump? We'll see in just a moment. It is 39-26.
Late switch for the visitors. Again inside their 5. Oh, they're going to pitch this one back for the flea flicker. Touchdown, West! Oh my goodness! Taking inspiration from Nick Foles and Trey Burton. I think they just pulled off the Philly special. That is the greatest touchdown I have ever seen. Well, maybe not the greatest touchdown I've ever seen. Maybe that's stretching a little bit, but one of the greatest touchdowns we've seen in a long time. And it's a tie game.
Entering the final frame of play, it's a 13-point game in favor of Kingsway. That lead was a lot larger at the halftime break as Washington Township went. Formaciero brings the deficit to 10, 39-29. Formaciero starting to edge that deficit a little bit closer. That one is brought into the corner. He's got room. That's a rattling 3-ball. Gassier Williams Bay brings the lead back to 13. A mano-a-mano from beyond the arc here to start the fourth. Now Conrad's going to move inside. He looks for a suitor here. He's got Formaciero from deep. Now from mid-range, from the baseline, it's an air ball. But maybe that ball was tipped. Here we go. Witherspoon, or no, it wasn't Witherspoon who had trouble with it, but instead Collier. Now it's Conrad across the floor. Pagano has room. That's a 3-ball. Back to a 10-point game. And Todd Powers calls a timeout as Washington Township, which had a cold first half, are turning into the red-hot Minutemen that bring up the secondary colors of their color swabs. We're only a minute and a half into the fourth, but don't go away because the Minutemen are not going anywhere. 42-34, I'm sorry, 42-32, 6:39 left in regulation. Here from Woolwich Township. Back live in the fourth quarter. To be inbounded by the Dragons, it will go again to number 3, Micah Hart. Talked about him at great length tonight as he is oh so close to that backcourt line. Makes a man miss. Inside, makes another man miss, but he's fouled. I don't know if you heard that over the PA. McCray just got his 4th personal foul. I mean, it's typical for guys in the front court to get those fouls quicker, but especially at this juncture of the game with your team down 10, McCray is one of your best defensive assets. If he fouls out in regulation, you do not want to lose him. 11-point game. Kingsway's lead was as large as 26. Early on in the third quarter. That is a rattler that does not go. They make 1 of 2, and Formaciero brings it back. As the Minutemen drive this one up the floor for Conrad. And another whistle called there.
Fouls on Kingsway's number 3, Mackay.
It's going to be Hart who gets hit there. Second team foul. Minutemen inbounding. Former Sierra to Conrad into the corner. For DeNoble, now it's Conrad. Rolls out of the three. DeNoble with the offensive board, and he is pushed down, and he a little bit slow to get up there. Might have tweaked something maybe in his neck or shoulder. But Kingsway does not want to be in this situation right now. Foul trouble while you're up and early in the fourth. And remember, only 2 more fouls will give the other team the bonus here. And the last thing you want, Pagano almost missed it. Awfully close towards the edge. He is fouled. And I think the officials are going to talk it over.
Foul on number 12, TJ Collier. That's his 5th and final foul.
Oh.
It'll be the team's 4th.
So that is a big blow to Kingsway's size advantage, as Collier has fouled out for the first time this year. Interesting. Don't forget, we'll be back at Kingsway on February 15th to close the regular season versus the Mainland Mustangs in a Cape Atlantic and Tri-County crossover. Not sure what the discussion is, but the Minutemen inbound as Kingsway is at their 4th team foul. High across the floor, back to Pagano. Only 2 minutes and a half gone in the fourth as the corner 3, wide left, trying to bring it down. Minutemen hang on to the possession. Rodea, he makes the layup.
Basket was good. Delay of game called against
Delay of game is called against Township. Now remember, that is a delay of game warning. That is not a delay of game foul, which, I mean, Township can afford a foul, Kingsway cannot. They've got 5.5 minutes, and if they don't want to send the Minutemen to the charity stripe for the rest of regulation, they've got to keep themselves clean. But this is the part where New Jersey not having a shot clock is your biggest friend. Up by 9. A big run from the Minutemen can still change the complexion of this game. Long shot. Oh, he makes a man fall. Blocking foul called on the Minutemen. Pagano, hands on head.
Washington Township's number 15, Justin Pagano. That's his 2nd personal, team's 2nd.
And this will now be inbounded back to the Dragons. But yeah, with no shot clock, these guys can kind of stall a little bit. As a wide open 3, air ball. Inside for DeNoble, almost blocked by Tolly. It goes back to Conrad. From deep, 3! Formasiero from deep downtown. The Minutemen to our left are standing as Formasiero lets it fly from beyond. 43-37. We'll be right back after this. The Dragons led by as much as 26, and now that lead has been cut to 6 as Washington Township could complete one of the greatest comebacks I've seen in a long time with 4 minutes, 37 seconds remaining. That ball gets swatted away. He dives for it inside. Oh, he got it. 4-point game. This is unreal. Step back, three-pointer. Rattles in after a handful of hops. And it's back to Kingsway's advantage. They lead by 6. Back to, 7-point game rather, excuse me. Wow. I got to catch my breath there. That's incredible. And Kingsway again is one foul away as Conrad sinks the 3. The visiting Minutemen have come to spoil the party. Three and a half minutes left. Stepping back again, here comes another 3-ball, no good, that's short. Tiley deflects it, now it's going back to Conrad the other way, lays it up with the right hand, he gets a foul and he gets an and 1! Unreal! Mystical scenes from Woolwich. As the home gym, which was confident and maybe even a little bit cocky all night, is now 2 points away from an ultimate humbling by the visiting Minutemen. Kingsway did pick up the bonus on that foul, which was an and 1. That shot didn't go, but it's still a one-possession game for the first time since very in the first quarter. The layup by Bay rattles in. This is unbelievable. He pulls up from downtown. And a foul is going to go on Washington Township. Rodea, who's already sitting on a technical tonight, just picked up his 4th personal foul. Rodea checks out as they want to make sure that he doesn't get fouled out. He's been maybe a bit controversial, but he's been a big part of this Minutemen crew tonight. 48-44. Moving inside, feeds it out. Back to Kuzmic. And it's Williams Bay hanging onto it in double trouble. It's Kuzmic again, and a foul is called in a 4-point game. DeNoble gets hit with his first personal foul. That is the 4th for Township. That'll be called on Kingsway. I mean, Kingsway like a monumental lead early on in the 3rd quarter. Moving in, high off the glass, and the rebound goes to Tiley. That one's going back in the lane. Kuzmic gets a hand in it and deflects. Now he's trapped in the corner, and a foul is called. That's going to be on Township, and now both teams will receive the bonus. I mean, they were worried about Kingsway picking up the bonus considering their early foul trouble, but now both teams are above the threshold. Kuzmic hits the first shot. Gone to the bench. That was the second personal foul for Conrad. Rattler. Oh, they almost tipped it in. Oh my goodness, they just tipped it in by accident. Kingsway just got maybe the luckiest shot of the year. Conrad makes a man miss, but the air ball from 3 sends these folks crazy. In the final 100 seconds of tonight's matchup, a 7-point lead. Kingsway looking to maybe draw some fouls. Looked like maybe he kicked it with his foot. Oh, he's hit on his way up. Hit his head against the padding. Pagano. And with both teams having the bonus, it will send the guard, Pagano, to the stripe. Don't forget our next broadcast will be Monday, December 23rd, Gateway and Clayton, in 2 cross-conference programs in boys basketball. That one rattles out. December 27th is the Pittman Holiday Tournament, 12-2. First game is Caravel, the Caravel Buccaneers of Bear, Delaware, and the Triton Mustangs, and then the Paulsboro Red Raiders and the Pittman Panthers, a rematch from South Jersey Group 1 playoffs last year. Then for the Cinnaminson Tournament, that will be on December 28th. The only day that we will be at Cinnaminson is the 28th. 2 games that day, 9:30 a.m., Haddon Heights and Cinnaminson. And then Hamilton and Washington Township is the second part of that 2-step at 11:30 a.m. We will also cover the Pittman Holiday Finals and Consolation game on December 30th. Todd Powers calls a timeout. That is their second to last timeout. Minute 27 left. We'll be right back after this. A minute 27 left. It is 51-45 in favor of Kingsway. Foul trouble for both sides brings us to a bonus. And Todd Powers called his second to last timeout here late in the fourth. They trail by. Washington Township was down by 20 plus in the third quarter, but a lot of hot streaks and a lot of cold streaks for Kingsway helped the offset, and that will go the other way. It looks like maybe a 5-second violation. That's what I think they're calling. Looks like 5-second violation. Oh, never mind. Illegal screen was called. I apologize. And hold on here. Did they overturn the call or? Okay, Township will get the possession back. Instead, this time it will be DeNoble, who's had a very noble night. Conrad, under pressure, falling away. Rebound, Tolley. Under hard pressure, this one goes back to J.D. Johnson. He's on 4 fouls of his own. They're heaving it across the floor, looking to win here as Township looking to steal it away. Off the window pane. Tolley's got it. It's going back. High off the window, and that might seal it. It's a 10-point game with 47 seconds on the clock. So a scoop and score. Here's another one from downtown, and he drills it. Three ball does fall for Pietro Fornaciero. Would love to see how much he's got at the end of the night. 4 balls from beyond the arc. He scored 15 versus Delsey on Township's opening night, and the referees are deliberating here. Not sure over what. I didn't hear any whistles when Fornaciero hit the shot. One more timeout will stay on the air here on DWB. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who pass, or I should restart that one. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on their first attempt. There's a couple of students, many students in that Kingsway student section need their 6 hours of training soon. So those kids up there, good recommendation, Harper Driving today to book an appointment at Suite E of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, right off of Lambs Road. I believe Todd Powers called that timeout, which is his last. And by the way, for our Kingsway friends, for the remainder of the way, our next Kingsway basketball game, let's see if we can find it on my sheet here. Our next Kingsway basketball game is going to be on February 15th versus Mainland, and our next Washington Township game will be on the Sunday tournament. We also have a few more Washington Township games after tonight. Todd Powers, the reunion game versus Gloucester Catholic, will be at Washington Township on January the 11th. Along with that, we see Washington Township again at home versus Bishop Eustace on January 30th. And I believe those are the last 2 we have for the Minutemen this year. So we'll be no strangers to the Minutemen this winter. This is their first of 4 games to be covered on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Conrad inside, heavily guarded, back out from the edge of the mid-range. He steps to the left, too long. And again, with a 7-point game, Kingsway starting to ride this one out. They steal the ball away. We've got a scramble. And it looks like Kuzmic got the timeout before the jump ball was called because Johnson had the possession. A bit controversial there, but 20 seconds remain. 55-48 in favor of Kingsway. Here for the Kingsway Regional Gymnasium, 55-48. This game might be over. For Washington Township with Todd Powers at the helm in his second year, they would fall to 1-1. They play in the Jimmy V Showcase in the nightcap versus Haddon Heights tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and then they play 2 games in the Cinnamon Showcase, Seneca and Hamilton. New year with a game on the road at Cherokee, and then 3 games at home versus GCIT, Timber Creek, and Gloucester Catholic. That's another foul that brings the Dragons to the line. For Kingsway and Brian Kuzmic, they were already 1-1. They'll improve presumably to 2-1. They are also going to be in the Jimmy V Showcase, Morristown, tomorrow at 5:30. And then they play in the ESCIT tournament versus Hunterdon Central on the 27th and Hamilton. They also travel down to Exit 0 to play in the Boardwalk Classic on December 30th versus Rancocas Valley. That's a 4th. And then after the new year, they are versus Delsey and Williamstown. 18 seconds left, 8-point lead. Here comes a 3, that one's short. They're gonna try to rattle this one away, and another foul is left. I mean, hey, this has been a good game overall. I think that Washington Township should not hold their heads low because this game could have been so much more lopsided than it ended up being. assuming that these are the last points of the night by Kuzmic, I mean, this would be a 58-48 game if he makes both. Think about the fact that they scored 11 points in the first half. Washington Township came a long way. Obviously, the defense maybe could have used some work. I think maybe the foul trouble got Washington Township into a lot of trouble, but Kingsway also got into a lot of foul trouble. So it's a double-edged sword. And I think if you're Todd Powers, you see this game as a stepping stone in adversity and coming back, and what it means to build a good quarter after a bad second quarter. Layup, too long. They go for three to end the game. It's too long, and Kingsway opens their home schedule with a win. Washington Township, they're able to get that one done after Washington Township made a very impressive comeback in the second half. And they were able to really, really ramp things up. Some tense moments, a couple technicals called, but I mean, I'd say Washington Township, don't take that game too harshly, because considering Washington Township only scored 11 points in the first half and they were scoreless in the second quarter, that game could have been so much worse than it was. And Kingsway obviously had a lot of cold stretches, found a spot and found a way to get it done. Let's debrief here at the end of the night, climbing down the stairs a little bit. I had to take off my windbreaker because it's so hot in here. But this is our first week of the basketball season here in South Jersey. Quite an Gloucester Catholic on Wednesday, and then Friday night action here with the Tri-County Royal Division. But, you know, that's kind of what makes this division interesting. You've got in the Tri-County Royal, you've got GCIT, Clearview, Williamstown in here. So, fun stuff all around. But the way I see it, Kingsway took this win, but it was a very sloppy game. They were lucky to get 57 points. Washington Township was lucky to get 48. The fact that this game was as high scoring in the second half as it was is almost a miracle. I mean, I'll say it like a broken record. Washington Township went scoreless in the second quarter. Any program cannot do that. The consequences were such that if Washington Township played even with Kingsway in the second quarter, they would have run away with this game. Kingsway